Of the whole meeting for the Vancouver Public Schools Board of Directors. I will start with taking roll. Director Sproul.
Here.
Director Smith.
Here.
Director Barrows.
Here.
Director Zavala-Ortega.
Here.
And I am present as well. And I will hand it over to Superintendent Bluckschmidt.
All right, thank you very much, Director Decker. We have a relatively short agenda tonight, so I'll go ahead and share my screen so we can get right into it. So there will be no superintendent report tonight, nor do we have any contracts to approve. And again, those would be contracts that you would be asked to act on next Tuesday at the December 9th board meeting. There are no pending contracts that require formal approval, so we can skip right to the procedural and policy updates. And I appreciate Taylor Richmond joining us to share some of those highlights.
Thanks, Brett. So we post the procedures that are approved and will go into effect later this month. I'll just highlight one. It's not for board action, but just highlight one, a slight update to our student discipline code guidelines and a modification to the definition of closed campus, which just addresses a concern of students not only who are leaving campus without permission, but students who are coming on to other campuses of schools that they do not attend without permission. And so this is just a clarification in that discipline code guide, which is posted on board docs, a clarification of what that discipline code means. So I just wanted to highlight that as one of the procedures that is being updated this month. Okay, as to board policies, we're going to bring a first read of policy 2170, our career and technical education policy. This revision is an update to the non-discrimination statement that is included in that policy. We have over the last few months been updating all of the policies that include the non-discrimination statement to align with the new language in RCW 28A.642.010. So as we continue to work through our policies and see which ones have the non-discrimination statement, we'll keep bringing those to you for an update. Next up, we'll have a first read of a new policy, policy 3425, titled Accommodating Students with Adrenal Insufficiency. This is a newly drafted model, based on a newly drafted model policy by WASDA from the passage of Substitute House Bill 1709. Which provides some state rules for supporting students who have adrenal insufficiency and some requirements for parent-designated adults, and that the requirements for those parent-designated adults to support with some emergency procedures for students, which are different than the ways that parent-designated adults need to be trained to support students with other health conditions. So this is a new policy. It outlines those training requirements as well as a requirement to develop an individual student health plan for any student who might need emergency care at school due to adrenal insufficiency. My understanding is that this is a rare situation or condition, but it would be helpful to have in place in case it comes up.
And I believe that it's formally known as Addison's disease.
Okay. All right, those are the two policies we'll bring for first reading, and then we have a policy for second reading next week, and it's policy 3241, our student discipline policy. As a reminder, this is a policy update that was recommended by WASDA to align with the new OSPI student discipline rules that came into effect this school year. Are there any questions about any of those three policies? All right, then that's what I've got, Brett.
Okay, thank you, Taylor. And so the last item on our agenda tonight is some instructional materials out of our teaching and learning department. And by way of reminder, these have been reviewed by the instructional material committee. But just a quick, it's 5 titles, I think I counted, that are being recommended for implementation. And as noted, there's one that was observed to have potentially challenging content, and it was relating to the Kent State incidents of, I believe it was the 60s, if I'm not mistaken. But there's some violence and profane language that are articulated in that particular volume, but we do believe it's appropriate for students only ages 9th grade to 12th grade. So any questions on the instructional materials committee's recommendations? All right, with that, I'll turn it back over to you, Director Decker.
So we, I guess, are adjourning. We will have our general meeting next Tuesday at 5:30 at Bates. And other than that, unless there's anything the other directors have to say, anything? All right, our meeting is hereby adjourned. Thank you.